La 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 la. In terms of positioning then, so it could be though, chronology sounds as though that's important. Chronology, in terms of if there is a history, if there is, so that's, would that be a positioner? Form. So you've got this form stuff, which is that identity. How do we, if I was a social constructionist, I know someone is whatever they signal. If I'm a phenomenologist, it is what they are, their essential characteristics. That's the difference between the two in the essential one. So when I'm thinking these big philosophies, these big epistemological foundational issues, they have a massive impact on research, because everything in nursing, positional-wise, is usually very essential. And it's going, yes, patients have the right to autonomy, patients are individual, patients have free will. It's patient-centred care. Patient-centred care. As a constructionist, I'm laughing my little socks off. But imagine you're doing your right thing up there, and everyone on your panel is going, well, we want proposals that are really going to, improve healthcare and whatnot. A social constructionist like me who starts going, well, actually, people aren't people, and they're just signs and symbols which are inflective and can be in some way, through a sense of identity, whether that's aggrieved or not. So I'm just pulling all your epistemologies together, and you start going, well, that isn't going to get you a proposal, is it? And you can imagine your people going, look, we sent you to go and get a PhD to save some lives, to make sure that we can cut down on some of the issues that are happening here, and then you've come back with these arty-farty and social good. So there is other issues to do with this positioning which have implications. But it sounds to me, in terms of your one, the historical one, there's, has most history been written in an essential humanist enlightenment and romantic frame? I'd probably argue it has. And that then is a position of which I can come along then as a social constructionist and kick it hard, really kick it. And I kick it hard, but the thing is with your write-up, I know my position is kick everything that's essential, kick everything that's universal, kick everything that has foundation, because I'm social constructionist. Cheer up everything that is relativist, and as long as I do that, I'll probably be aligned. So what we think of identity isn't just what we think identity is it? There are political bents to it, and we are seeing it being played out worldwide at the moment. Left, right, left or right. And both have got ideas on, and they're both real quite nasty things. The right wing will have us all killed because they don't like certain race, and the left will have us killed because they don't like certain right wingers. Usually, I've got no. But it has implications. So identity is a concept, isn't it? It's some sort of something. I'm not going to say construct, but we'd understand that as a term. It's many things. It has position. You find your position on that. It doesn't have to be the right one. You've got to go, haven't you? Good luck with that proposal, sir. You find that position, and guess what? Not only can you produce something which is aligned and therefore a lot stronger an argument in terms of a thesis, but you might even enjoy it. Which at level 8, let's face it, is a very rare thing. I'm not sure you're meant to enjoy your studies. Are you enjoying your studies at level 8?
I didn't when I did that.
Okay. Is it a case of, if you were doing level 8 studies or writing or more of that sort of stuff, would it be a case of, what advice would you give yourself now if you were giving it to yourself then? I'm trying to be historical, you see. I'm trying to be clever.
I doubt how you respond adequately to that, but it's now a flat refusal to write anything that fits aligns with any idea of ref, tef, whatever.
Shh, you can't say that. You'll get us all sacked. No, I'm in total agreement, to be honest. Write for yourself.
Yeah, that's more honest to, I guess that's where my position in myself.
Yeah.
And that's certainly not how the PhD felt.
Yeah.
And the hardest bit was to turn it around to a bit more of myself, or where I felt, yeah, I can say it, and still not fail on paying due deference to the people who will assess it. It sounds
Yeah.
like a history fiction, but it fits the past because it doesn't look like it. It doesn't sound like it. It doesn't make the right noises.
Like the noticing just needs to look like what it is, doesn't it, in some ways? That's not to take out any of the value for you guys as a journey. I'm going to start rounding up. Thank you for that.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sure.
Realism be under objectivity?
Yeah, realism would be it. So you can see now, objectivity, that, well, what you start doing, you can start going, well, go through the dictionary, find a philosophy that ends in ism. Yeah? Learn it to death. I've got a bit of a thing, and I'll give Deborah this to throw up. It's just so I don't overrun or whatnot. I have got a sort of list of stuff, and I'll make sure it goes up, which you could take any one of them. Realism's a good enough one, especially if you're doing something about visuality and whatnot. A lot of Derrida's work was done on these notions of nostalgia, history, and whatnot. Does the photo lie? Does realism demand an audience? Realism demands an audience. Realism needs a priori knowledge. You need to know something in order to make a prior to. So you could be a realist in position.
Possibly, or look, materialism. I mean,
You Marxist, you. There's two of you now. See what you've done?
no, new materialism.
A new materialism. Actor network theory.
Yeah, possibly.
Okay, good for you.
But there could be misalignments, so yes.
You know, that's the thing, that is going to be misalignments. This is what if we take nothing away from today, there will be misalignments in your writing. And you'll spend the rest of your career, I suppose, trying to fathom that out, beating yourself up in every article you ever write now or whatnot. I suppose it's about learning colleague at the back, sort of thing. Write for yourself now, though, and that can sort of change, and you can be a bit freer. The institutional bit, you can always be a bit. You're a realist. Bloody hate realists. I don't. They're lovely people. Lovely people. They're misguided. A bit like the conversation analysts, so that's on the thing. Yeah. I want to start summing up. There's position all around. You bring your position to your work. If you don't know what it is, you can look harder and start to notice more and more. How do you start to notice? It's going to be in some philosophical tenets. The philosophical tenets are roughly based into a billion things. We've broken them down into these three things here. Essentialism. What are the essential qualities things need in order to exist? What are the minimum, actually, essential qualities things need in order to exist? Now, if you are an essentialist, you will believe that human beings have a certain amount of essential qualities because that's what makes them a human being. You will think that a chair has a certain amount of essential qualities, that's what makes it a chair and not a stool. And not a table. That's what you'll think, and that's essentialism. If you're leading towards the more interpretivist and relativist, though, you're going to always have a bit of trouble with that essentialism stuff. And there's good philosophical, metaphysical reasoning for that. But now you know it, you might not know what those difficulties are because it takes some reading. Wikipedia is brilliant for that. Check it out. But trust you me, most of the objectivity hates relativism. Most essentialism hates relativism, but they'll tolerate it a bit in the phenomenological sense. That's usually what it is, but generally they're the last to be invited to the party. However, we all do sort of love a bit of relativism because I don't care what people think, I am who I am. But the essentialists would say that, but the constructivists can't say that because I'm not an am I? I'm trapped in language. That's the point. Any one of these three, though, can help you now starting to differentiate between positions. on the list, and you'll see it. If you look at, like, I've got, what you've got to do is get yourself a philosophy or a philosopher. This is the trick. I'll put it up, but you'll see. Oh my God, I don't know if realism's on here. No, can you see it? No one said that one. I asked 100 people.
I don't think I am a realist. I'm looking at it though.
You mean I've just done all that work and you're not even a realist? Well, basically, you know, any of them. You could pick any of them, couldn't you? You could pick any of them things. Go to Wikipedia. Go, well, I don't know, I'm going to say representation is a significant issue in my thesis, even if it isn't, or even it isn't, I don't know, just take the chance. It's a position. The notion of representation gives you some sort of footing in position. Next thing you got to do is learn everything about representation and what that actually is, what it means. That it mediates a reflective reality. But, you know, if you're into representation, you're not objective most of the time. To represent means there's something that's in. It means you're probably a social constructionist. It goes to help in lots of ways. But you pick one of them, you do a lot of Wikipedia, you do a lot of fighting around, you start getting some secondary data, you start looking at what other people have said, and you start going, nah, it's not me. Or you start going, you know what, this could work. Remember, you're reflexive and you're bringing yourself to this thesis, you need to align it, you bring it, and you start going, yeah, that works. But I'm greedy, I want to do a bit more. And you took another one or two, and you start to forge and invent. So you know, in the olden days, when you started this level 8 stuff, you thought you were going to discover something, didn't you? You thought you were going to discover something. Now, you're going to invent something. You're going to forge a link between something, and you're going to be in this mix. You're going to be the one that makes the difference. You are your thesis. Your supervisor won't agree with that, by the way, and whatever your supervisor says, do. But secretly, you will know there's something about this philosophical stuff, and I only have to bump into Bertrand Russell at my Viva and I'm doomed. It'll be something like that. You realist. But you know what? Say you are a realist, and you work that out, and you go, well, I'm a realist, and I've got a good argument for it, and you're aligned. You take that to Viva and it goes, boom. You pick, if your topic is such that no one has ever looked from a realist standpoint in your particular arena, you can contribute with that, surely. There's something theoretical that can be brought to bear.